whether you like them crunchy or spicy or sour or sweet, the pickle is one of New York City's food staples.
And joining us to tell us the story of New York pickles are the authors of The Pickled City. That's Paul Van Ravestein and Monique Mulder. Welcome, both of you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, okay.
So, what prompted you to write this book?
Actually, we are doing a lot of research about identities, and food is our interface. So we figured out that the pickle stands absolutely for New York. It's the identity of New York. You will find it everywhere, on every hamburger. But it is a beautiful story with history and culture.
Well, there's pizza, there's bagels, and now you're saying pickles top that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's such a humble product, so it's all has to do with immigration. So we made a book in Amsterdam about the pickle history, and we took the journey of the pickle to the US to cross the pond, and there's a lot to tell about the pickles in Lower East Side.
And not only pickles, but it is also about the people behind it. It's a very enriched culture here in New York.
Everyone has a story.
Everybody has a story.
But
so
that's
many
the thing.
people.
You go. There's a couple old school pickle places still left on like the Lower East Side, like one or two, and they say how back in the day the streets were just full of just vendors, like their
push carts.
Push
right?
carts.
Push carts.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
pickles.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was people coming from different places. And it was mostly Dutch, right?
Dutch, Eastern European,
Eastern European area.
Ukraine and Poland and Hungary, so a lot of different places.
They came here on the Lower East and they settled. And so when we did the research as well, it's more than 100, more than 200 little companies and shops were here.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
How many years of research to put this book together?
Yeah, it's 4 years, this
4
book,
years,
and another 4 years for the Amsterdam pickle book.
Yeah.
But,
How much taste testing did you do along the way?
A lot as well, yeah. Because in Europe or in Amsterdam, it's more sweeter. The taste, and here it's more salty and sour.
Yeah.
So it's more specific.
True New York flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But we can figure out by the recipe where it is coming from. And we come already from Asia, Middle East, Eastern Europe, and now here in New York.
It has to do with the climate as well. So you have vinegar in the south of Europe, for instance, and more salty in the north. So more fermentation, basically.
Is it a review of pickles, or is it more just the story of pickles?
No, it's the whole story, and we know all the families in New York by now. So we interviewed them, and so each family has its own story in the book.
You go to the pickle guys on the Lower East Side? You go to
Absolutely. Yeah, we have contact each day now. Yeah.
He's the best. He pickles everything. He pickles mangoes.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
You can pickle everything.
Everything. And that's why it became such a popular thing for immigrants, because there's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to make pickles.
It's a culinary memory of the stories of families.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful. You know, when we do the research and interview them, it is amazing what you can hear. But so it was also they were very happy because we unfolded actually stories of families and where they are coming from. And so that's an enrichment.
Yeah, so it's an interface for social issues, but also architecture. And we recreated New York City in the 30s. So if you see it now, it's totally different, of course.
Yeah.
So it's also an interface for other subjects, basically.
Yeah.
It's amazing how something so simple, you peel back the layers and there's so many stories there.
And that's a beautiful thing, because we see it on a social democratic level through all the layers, from the poorest till the rich. Everybody is using the pickles.
Yeah, the pickle.
Yeah.
Are these just examples that you brought here? Because I feel like these are the ones that we see in grocery stores all the time. But they do. The reflection of the sour or sweet does determine where they're from. Can I see the book?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just going to squeeze in a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is the book. So is it categorized? Is it alphabetical? Like, how is it kind of like?
Yeah, it starts with the U.S. in general. So we tackled 200 pickle companies from the 1900s, and each family in the Lower East Side is represented.
Yeah.
And this is the old school pickle truck here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the push cart. Yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, 1850 to 19. I mean, this is how much of New York, like the fabric of New York, the pickle is.
Yeah, exactly. It was all over the place.
The research is a visual investigation, so we went through thousands of pictures, and that is why it is a unique book. It is not only that you have to read it, but you can see it as well. So that is the reconstruction of a time period of New York.
Yeah, so it's there.
Yeah, so it's 180 archives. We went through to see the pictures from back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just, I mean, it really is. Because I remember doing a piece about the pickle guys and going back and seeing these pictures and going, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you have a pickle at a deli, you're not thinking, like, there's a history attached to this.
Yeah.
Like, it really is a very special part.
And some of the photographs in here are incredible.
Yeah, they're super sharp, and from 1800, it's amazing.
And I just love that they used to, like, leave them overnight in these carts. They just, like, put a lock on, like, put, like, a weight on them. Because it was all in vinegar, so it wouldn't go bad. It would just, like, stay overnight on, like, the streets of New York City. And then in the morning, they'd take the thing and think, oh, okay, let's sell some pickles.
Absolutely. Either in salt, you lay them in salt, or in vinegar.
Right. Amazing.
But it's an old technique, and it is, you know, everybody on Earth are using this kind of technology. So it's really the food culture you are entering.
You want a pickle?
I'm going to become a meme if I eat a pickle on TV.
Paul and Monique, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Pickled City. It's available everywhere books are sold. Go check it out.